Good morning, Cityside. It is wonderful to be back with you. So at this time, I would like you all to just hear live and direct with us. And those of you out there, just take a moment to breathe and settle yourself in with your intention for this morning. What is it that you need for yourself and your soul, your heart, your mind, your physical body? Find that space, that place, that thought, and just breathe into that. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender. Let it be. Loving Spirit, dwell in me, now and evermore. Find that place and that space that needs to listen to yourself and to these lyrics one more time. Loving Spirit, dwell in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. Oh, may I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender. Oh, let it be. Loving Spirit, dwell in me, now and evermore. Now and evermore.
Good morning, Cityside. Welcome to our Sunday service and celebration. My name is Reverend Judy Randiger-Meza, and I'm going to be your host today. So thank you for being with us, those who are in the room. It's always so wonderful to see people in person again without masks. And as always, thank you and welcome to those who are joining us on the live stream. Each week, you can join us in person or online by going to our website and clicking the Watch Online button in the header. We are fully reopened and reservations are no longer required, so please consider joining us in person. We're open for business. Come on down. Check out our Sunday bulletin on the home page of our website. There you will be able to follow along with today's service and see affirmations, links to registration, and other important information. We encourage everyone to like us on social media and help us spread the word about Cityside. Share the live stream link and check in on Facebook to let people know you are here. Cityside is affiliated with the Centers for Spiritual Living, and we are about practical spirituality that empowers you to create the life that you want. We honor all paths, practice oneness, and embrace new thought and wisdom teachings. And we are really about providing a supportive community where you can explore and deepen in your own spiritual path by connecting to the spirit and wisdom within you. So today we have Reverend Jeff holding vigil today all the way from Tulsa, Oklahoma. So we want to thank him for that. And this is a meditative state that he's holding for us so that he can hold the space for us to have a transformative experience. Our July theme is Embracing Forgiveness as the Path to Personal Freedom. And today, Reverend Linda Jackson is here to share her message, Trusting Life. So I really like the way we've themed this month, Embracing Forgiveness. So embracing, this is not what I always think of as forgiveness. Forgiveness is kind of more like this for me. So I am really eager to hear Reverend Linda's message about trusting life, trusting forgiveness as a path to that freedom. So this is fun. I get to announce this, that now that we're back, we are going back to having that time of meeting and greeting for a couple of minutes. So we are going to take a couple of minutes right now to get up off our feet and actually say hello to each other in person. So go ahead and do that, and if there's someone you don't know especially, say hello. Okay, this is going to be the hard part, getting everybody back in their seats. So now we're going to say our vision and mission statement. So this will appear on the online Sunday bulletin and also on the screen for the live streamers. So please join me together in speaking aloud our vision and mission statement. We envision an empowered community that is living in a world of unconditional love in action. Our mission is to create safe spaces to explore and deepen our faith, grow in spiritual relationship, and connect with our authentic nature.
Thank you, Reverend Judy. Can I I get you all to clap a little bit? Give me some sonic energy in the house. Let's bring that tempo a little more. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. That's right, come on. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Sing about love. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. One more time. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. One more time, Greg. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. Yes.
If this is your first time joining us at Cityside, we want to welcome you and thank you for being in community with us today. You can join our mailing list by clicking the subscribe button in the header of our website. We would love to stay in touch with you. If you consider Cityside your spiritual home, we would love to have you affirm your membership by going to the My Cityside page of the website. There you can read more about membership and fill out the membership form. Whether it's through education, study groups, or prayer, we hope that you will lean into this community and deepen in your spiritual growth.
Thank you, Judy.
Morning. I'm Gordon Dickinson, one of your licensed spiritual practitioners. I'm here to share a reading related to today's message, to facilitate a brief meditation as an opportunity to reflect on that reading, and to offer a blessing for this service. Today's reading is from 12 Steps for Forgiveness by Paul Ferrini. I need to recognize that change is not bad. It is a ripening process. If I did not change, I would not ripen. If I did not stay with my experience, I would not learn from it. As long as I am invested in keeping everything the same, I cannot benefit from the lessons that life spontaneously provides me. I must be willing to change, but I must not be so proud as to think I know the direction in which change is required. That I do not know. That I should not know. That comes from the unknown, from beyond me, or from so deep within me, I do not recognize it. It comes through me and transforms me as it passes through. Knowing that everything is okay is simply trusting in the process, whatever it brings. It means that I know my Creator loves me and abides with me through all my travails. She cannot interfere with my lessons, for she did not prescribe them. She is simply my witness, as I am hers. Now, I invite you to turn within and enter a time of stillness, a short time of stillness, to reflect on the power of forgiveness and on trusting the process. Now I invite you to return to our shared space while remaining anchored in the knowledge that Spirit is present in all of us. Right here and right now, I recognize that there is one power and presence that I call God that is the source of wholeness, of love, of wisdom, of clarity, peace, and joy. I know that everyone in this room and everyone participating online is whole, perfect, and complete. We are all one with the source of wholeness, love, peace, and joy that lives in, as, and through all of us. From this place of oneness, I bless our gathering today. I bless Cityside and the space of love, healing, and wholeness that this community creates. I bless all the hearts and hands that have come together today to make this service happen, including Keith, Dom, Tiffany, Greg, Judy, and others. And I bless Reverend Linda for sharing her message on trust. I bless everyone participating in this service, knowing we share the gifts we receive from this community with our broader communities in Chicago and beyond. I bless it all and call it good. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Gordon. So for this feature song, this is a song that came to me. I did not know this song as of 2 weeks ago. And it came into my life because it needed to remind me of the beauty of what's on the other side of any situation. And a fun fact is I will be performing this song again next Sunday evening, the 25th. I have a show at Space in Evanston, which I'm very excited about. So if anyone would like to join me there, you get to hear it twice if you love it like I do. This is called Follow the Sun. Shooting star, what is your hurry? So fast, so far. Are you running or glowing? Running to something or running away? Is this your reality every day? You're a shooting star. What is your hurry? As for me, oh, I'm gonna follow the sun. Oh, I'm gonna follow the rainbows, come as they go. So I'm gonna follow the sun. Shooting star, what is your hurry? So fast, so far. Are you spinning or turning? Did you fall from heaven or fall out of grace? Somewhere there's a perfect place in space for a shooting star. What is your hurry? As for me, oh, I'm gonna follow the sun. Oh, I'm gonna follow the rainbows, come as they go. So I'm gonna follow the stars and the pain, obstacles and the strange monsters that live in my head. They tell me that I am not worthy. I know that I am. Oh, I'm gonna follow the sun. Oh, I'm gonna follow the rainbow. Shooting star, what is your hurry? Shooting star, what is your hurry?
How amazing this is, how blessed we are. I think everyone should be inviting their friends, all of you on live stream and here in person, to see this amazing performance that we get every week as part of our service. It's like a free concert. And you can show up on Sunday as well, Sunday evening. So, do any of you have a little voice, a little critic? No? Just me? Well, I have this little one, this voice, that's always saying, I'm not doing it right. And through a lot of healing work, I've come to learn that it's also saying, if I'm not doing it right, you won't love me. And through that healing work, I've discovered that I have this coping strategy for how to navigate the world based on that belief that I'm not doing it right and you won't love me. And so I show up with competence. I show up like I know what I'm doing. And that serves me. It has served me very well. But to prove to myself that I'm okay, I'm constantly trying to make sure I'm doing it right, managing my experience of myself, and I'm constantly managing your experience of me. And all that managing, it's exhausting. When underneath it, all I really want is to be loved. And any feeling of relief that I get from all of this managing is just temporary. It keeps me from being here in the present moment. I'm missing the magnificence of what's here because I'm so busy managing. And any love that is actually here for me, it's not landing here because I'm not present to notice. And how ironic that all I really want is to be loved, but I'm so busy trying to manage your experience of me that I just had a moment of feeling really vulnerable for sharing all that. So managing your experience of me, I miss the love that's here. And that's the short version of my story. And I'm sure you all have your own story, and underneath it, all you want is to be loved. So somewhere along the way, I made up this story that my being loved was dependent on what I was doing, and I became a great doer. And as I begin to wake up to these principles, as I begin to love and accept myself as I am, as I begin to forgive myself for the ways that I think I'm falling short or not doing it right, I can have compassion for that little one, the one that's just trying to do good, that's just trying to be loved. And when I give myself this acceptance and this love and this forgiveness, it sort of organically and naturally expands my capacity to forgive and accept you. It's amazing how it works. Our book this month is The 12 Steps of Forgiveness by Paul Perini. And he says, deep down inside, every one of us is a wounded child who needs to heal. So going through this book, and there's these 4 axioms, and there's 4 cornerstones, and there's 12 steps, and it's like really activating the one in me who thinks I'm not going to do it right. But forgiveness starts within, and that's the first of these axioms. He has 4 axioms that sort of undergird the whole book. And the first one is forgiveness starts within. It starts in our own hearts, and only when we have forgiven ourselves can we give forgiveness to or receive forgiveness from others. He says, if I can remove the sting of blame and shame from my own heart, I can offer that gift to you. If I can see my own innocence, I can see yours too. So when I bring compassion and understanding to myself, I begin to understand you. And then I have compassion for whatever is running in your story. And I can begin to see your innocence. He says every negative feeling stems from the perception of a lack of love. We all want the same thing. We all want to be loved. He says bargaining for forgiveness won't work. And this is the second of the axioms. Forgiveness is not conditional, even though our practice of it often is. You know, like I'll forgive you if, or I'll forgive myself when. It's just a form of control and manipulation. He says partial forgiveness is a subtle form of attack. Doesn't sound like forgiveness. It's a way we keep ourselves in the fear game. Forgiveness has to be a wholehearted, unconditional act. And the third axiom is forgiveness is an ongoing process. I forgive, and judgment comes back, and I forgive, and judgment comes back. There's never a time when I stop forgiving myself and others. It's never done. I might even go so far as to say that forgiveness becomes a way of life. So we know forgiveness comes from within or starts within. It's not conditional or partial. It's ongoing. And the fourth axiom is that every gesture of forgiveness is sufficient. Whatever we're able to do right now is enough. Understanding this allows us to practice forgiveness with forgiveness. So what this book is really about is going through the pain to get to the love. And I so appreciate my work as a spiritual practitioner, coach, minister. You can only take someone as far as you've gone yourself. So I keep doing the work because I have to stay a step ahead of you. But it doesn't serve me to beat myself up wherever I am. In fact, it just takes me out. It delays my growth. Whatever I am doing in this moment is enough. And as I go deeper and I find that compassion for myself that leads to greater compassion for you, as I go through the pain to get to the love, I find that I am the love that I'm seeking. And I see my clients coming to me with deeper work. And we don't just dig this stuff up to sit in the yuckiness. We're opening up to it, to move through it, to get to love. And at some point, you have to decide that that's what you want to do. You have to just choose not to stay in the yuck just because it's familiar, and make the conscious choice to bring the love to yourself. Farini says, fear is a cry for love. Every attack is a cry for love. Every crisis is a call to healing. These appearing problems are all just pointing us back to love, back to source, back to ourselves, back to the God of our being. There's no separation. Now, some people walk on the planet in an experience of oneness, but that's not my experience. I am grateful that I have glimpses of it. I have moments of it. And I'd like to share a profound experience of oneness that I had in a breathwork session. So if you didn't already think I was woo-woo, you're going to know now. So if you don't know breathwork, in this particular type of breathwork, the oxygenation of doing this sort of circular breathing, it's healing for the body. And for many, it induces like a trance state where we can experience an emotional or psychological healing as well. So I'm in this breathwork practice, and there are no drugs involved, but I'm having this like psychoactive, euphoric experience of oneness. I'm out floating in space, and I'm hearing this idea that I'm swimming in the body of God. And it morphs into swimming through my own bloodstream, which then morphs back into outer space. And so I'm just having this real cool experience of out there in space, the body of God, my body's the body of God, and I'm loving this experience. And all of a sudden I hear this, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? And I'm thinking, first of all, whose voice is that? And secondly, like, I'm not really a Bible-based teacher. I mean, I'm familiar with it. I grew up with some of it, so I know that these are Christ's last words. But I'm wondering, why is this happening here, and why is it stopping me from having this really cool experience that I'm having? And then I hear, it's not that I have forsaken you. It's that you have forsaken yourself. And that's what this is about. I had the awareness of all the times that I thought God wasn't there for me, but it's that I wasn't there for me. We have to give the love to ourselves. It's our work to uproot the beliefs and the stories that are driving the behaviors, and they show up as drama and suffering. But I find it really helpful to understand that any drama I experience is just pointing me back to something that wants to be healed. It's pointing me back to love. Your drama, your suffering, it's calling you back to love. Farini says, if we choose love, we bless ourselves and others. If we choose fear, we cry out for love from all our woundedness. Everything is either love or a cry for love. All forgiveness is self-forgiveness. All forgiveness is a call to love yourself first. And forgiving someone doesn't mean that you hang out with your abuser. It means you set yourself free from the suffering, from the fear. So I don't forgive you for you. I forgive you for me. And in the process of shining the light of compassion on yourself, you find more compassion for the other. It's like a bonus. And you make your next choice from that place of compassion instead of from your triggered reactive state. So whatever's going on for you, the invitation is to ask yourself, how can I bring love to the situation? The more we do this work, the more we develop the muscles And eventually we have a muscle memory for choosing love instead of fear, or at least maybe not taking quite so long to remember to come back to love. Farini says, every one of us has condemned ourselves, and we try to work it out by projecting the responsibility on to others. I must stop blaming you over there and take responsibility for giving myself the love that I'm seeking. Stop trying to make you do whatever I think you should do to make me feel whole. It's a racket. It's a never-ending game of suffering. First, I already am whole. And second, blaming you is just the dance I do to stay in my pattern, to avoid my growth, to stay in the comfort zone of whatever suffering I have normalized. He says, forgiveness of self becomes a way of taking responsibility for my life right now. You will never be able to fill the void that only I can fill. Trying to make you responsible for how I feel is just avoidance. I'm not going to feel loved by proving you wrong. Conflict will never feel satisfying or fulfilling because it's really love that I want. And I have to give it to myself. So how can I bring love to the situation? He says, there is never a conflict situation in my life in which I cannot bring peace to myself through forgiving myself. So I hope you really get that. You have the ability to bring peace to any conflict through forgiving yourself, which means bringing love to yourself. We hold the power to resolve all of our conflict by bringing love to ourselves. So I'm going to take a few minutes just to focus on the idea of trusting your life. And trusting your life means believing that everything is happening for us. Really dropping down into a deep trust. But when you take a stance against someone or something, you create separation. And no matter how enlightened I become, no matter how much work I do, there will always be situations or people that I find hard to accept. When I create boundaries based on fear, I amplify that experience of separation. And I'm boxing myself in, saying, I'm right and you're wrong. And Farini says, the more I try to define and order my existence, like that boxing in, the more I mess things up. The idea is not to control your life, but to work with your life. You know, like the times when you believe that what's happening isn't good, but you later realize it was one of the best things that could have ever happened for you. Farini says, your life force knows what you need and attracts it to you. You can trust life. If life always brought us what we expect, we wouldn't learn anything. The lesson is always here to uplift us, not to take us down, although we may need to get knocked down in order to learn the lesson. But God does not punish. The pain that you feel is not a punishment, it's a communication. You have to go beyond the ego to get to the lesson, move through the pain to get to the love, and ask, what is the pain trying to tell me? And you learn that you don't need to change the other person or to change what's going on. You just need to change your perception of the other person or the situation. One of my favorite things to work with is asking, are you closed and contracted in fear, or are you open and expanded in trust? And in the 15 commitments of conscious leadership, this is called locating yourself. Below the line, closed and contracted in fear. Above the line, open, curious, expanded, coming from love. If you're contracted, you're committed to being right. If you're expanded, you're committed to growth and learning. But we're not judging if it's good or bad. We're just noticing. We don't want to try to get rid of the resistance. Just notice it. Awareness is always the first step. Then you become more conscious of how your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings are influencing your experience. Our lessons are learned by opening the heart, moving from thinking mind to feeling mind, from either or thinking to both and thinking, and you begin to shift. Rigid concepts, moral absolutes don't work here. We are always at choice, and we can choose to blame or to bless, to reject or to accept, to control or to set free. Another step in trusting life is to see that everything is okay as it is. You're asked to recognize your fear and understand that love is what you want. And if you can't, then just be aware that you can't. Awareness is enough. He says, as long as you are aware that you have the choice, it doesn't matter if you're unable to choose love. Our ego voice will rise up and make you wrong, especially if it's my ego voice. But this other voice comes in and says, it's okay. Just be aware. You're doing fine. And you know this is Spirit's voice because it honors you and it honors everyone else in your drama. Spirit does not create that binary experience of right and wrong. There's no judgment necessary with Spirit. Farini says the descent into darkness and subsequent ascent into light does not happen in a linear manner. It's a cyclical journey. You face a fear, bring it to the light, then another one surfaces. Each one is followed by another challenge. You keep looking in the mirror to find the wounded child part, to recognize your judgments, and then the descent into darkness is essential to your healing process so that you can be the light bearer, so you can be the one that brings the light, brings the love. It's not measured by how many lessons we receive or even by how many of them we learn, but by our willingness to look in the mirror. Every person who pushes your buttons is a personification of your shadows. Each challenge gives you the opportunity to choose again. You can stop trying to be perfect or getting it done or doing the best job and become content with the flow of what life brings. The journey goes around and around, and you're okay. And since this is a cyclical process, the last step could also be the first step, and that is opening your heart. He says the easiest way to open your heart is to ask for help. Ask a friend, ask a stranger, ask God. Just ask. The heart opens when we accept ourselves with all of our contradictions and when we accept others with their trials and tribulations. Forgiveness occurs when we become both the bringer and the receiver of love. And he says there's nothing mysterious about this, unlike my breath work. There's nothing mysterious. Acceptance opens the heart, judgment closes the heart. And no one else needs your forgiveness but you. So I'm going to introduce a little practice from Gay Hendricks because I think this is a really practical way to experience bringing love to yourself. So this is from Gay Hendricks, Learning to Love Yourself. And I invite you to just turn your attention inward. Allow a current situation, an experience where you're holding someone or something outside of yourself. And just notice your present state, your feeling state. Mad, sad, scared, bored. Just notice. And the practice is to love yourself for what you are experiencing. So say to yourself, I love myself for feeling blank. Fill in the blank with your feeling. And just notice, were you able to access any love? If you can't access any feeling of love, then you simply ask, am I able to love myself for not being able to love myself? And just notice. And this goes on. If you still haven't accessed any love, I love myself for not being able to love myself, for not being able to love myself. And eventually there will be a softening. You'll experience the sensation of loving yourself. You just have to be willing. Are you willing? Are you willing to flow with the stream of life instead of against it? Are you willing to move into opening, to expansion? Are you willing to make the choice for forgiveness? And I'm just going to take us into our closing prayer. Right here, recognizing the infinite power and presence of love is right where I am. It is right within each one of us. We are the love. We are one with all the love that God is. And I just affirm that each of us is expanding and deepening and opening into this love, creating a greater capacity within us for loving ourselves, for being the love that we seek. And as this love washes over us and pours through us, we open into greater freedom, a greater experience of loving others, more fulfillment, more joy. We are expanded into a greater state of trusting life. We move through life in ease. We move through life in grace, really knowing that everything is happening for us. Everything is simply pointing us back to love, love, and more love. So I just say yes to love. I'm so grateful, knowing that the love is already present, that we are just lining up with it. Grateful for knowing this practice is expanding us. Grateful for knowing we are experiencing forgiveness and freedom and joy. And I simply release these words into the law that always says yes. I call it good, and so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Jackson. That was beautiful.
Yes, there's so much to glean from Reverend Linda's talk, a lot to chew over. For me personally, the one line I'm going to remember is, everything I'm doing now is enough. Anybody think about that a lot? Okay, so we're in our time of offering. Cityside is supported by our community through the gifts of your time, talent, and financial contributions. Together, we practice conscious giving and support Cityside in creating the space and experience of us being in community. On the giving page of our website, you will find easy ways to give. You can make a one-time gift electronically. You can set up recurring giving. You can make a request to receive the address to give by mail, or you can text to give, which is usually the most popular way people use. So you text the word GIVE to 312-757-8111. If it is your first time using text to give, you will receive instructions on how to set it up, and after that, you'll just have to text the amount to that number. If you would like to give in person, we have giving envelopes here that you can place in our giving box in the room. So as we make our gifts, I want to invite you into a practice of gratitude. And so I just invite you to close your eyes or have a soft gaze and think back on your week. What are you grateful for? What moments of grace? What experience of unexpected support? Moments of joy or peace? Where did you feel ease and flow or the abundance of enough time? So turn your attention to the gift you are giving today and breathe the energy of gratitude into that space. So now let's affirm together our giving affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am.
Will my heart and soul say yes? Will your spirit still say yes? There is more than I require of thee. Will your heart and soul say yes?
So just want to thank everyone for your gifts. Everything that we do here on Sundays and throughout the week are community supported through your financial gifts. So we really want to thank you for that. Hello there. Special thanks to our Sunday team for making today's service possible. Keith, Dom, Tiffany, Reverend Jeff, holding vigil, Gordon, Don, Jason, and of course, Reverend Linda for her talk. We look forward to being with you again next week as Angie Hosley continues our July conversation, Embracing Forgiveness as a Path to Personal Freedom. And finally, don't leave with anything heavy on your heart. If you need prayer support and are here today, Don is going to be in the back of the room offering prayer. And online, you can request prayer on our website under the support tab. You can fill out a written request that a practitioner will pray over, or you can request a prayer call, and a practitioner will call and pray with you. So until we meet again next week, Cityside, have a blessed Sunday and a blessed week.
All right, everyone, feel free to stand up so you can move your body a little bit. Stretch those limbs. It's so nice to be back to my Cityside home. You know this one, you can sing along with Greg and I. Your love is lifting me higher, that's right, than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up, quench my desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore. Sing with me, Greg, come on. I said your love keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me higher and higher. That's right. Your love keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me higher and higher. Now I was downhearted, this is true. Disappointment was my closest friend. But then it came, soon it departed. And you know, it will never show your face again. Come on, that's why your love keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me higher and higher. I said your love keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me higher and higher. I'm so glad I finally found me. Yes, that one that's God in me. And I throw my loving arms up to you, 'cause I could stand up and face the world, you see. One more time, everyone sing. I know your love keeps lifting me. What? Keeps on lifting me higher and higher. I say your love keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me higher and higher. Let's break it down, Greg. Come on, clap, everyone. Your love keeps lifting me. Come on, keeps on lifting me higher and higher. That's right. I said your love keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me higher and higher. Happy Sunday, Cityside. Have a beautiful rest of your week. We will see you back here next Sunday. Love and blessings.